Hello, dear listener. I'm your host, Ike. And today, my guest is a female leader in the crypto space since 2012. V, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm V. I am a Web3 business builder and one of the earliest female leaders in the space. And I've helped take Pudgy Penguins to global recognition. And I'm now the CEO of World of Women and very excited about that.
How did you end up in crypto in 2012?
So I was doing an internship at General Electric. Very, very boring internship, by the way. International purchasing management. And one of my colleagues mentioned one day something called Satoshi's white paper. Next thing you know is I'm spending every single night on the internet looking for anything and everything that has to do with blockchain and crypto. And since then, I never left. Back at the time, I was still just out of college, so I didn't have too much disposable income, I'd say. So I hadn't bought too much crypto or BTC back then, but I still have everything that I bought and I'm never going to sell it. But yeah, I'm a hodler until the end. And this is going to be my legacy to either my children or to the world when I die.
Why? Why was Bitcoin and the idea of cryptocurrencies something that sticked with you to this extent?
I think beyond Bitcoin, it was really blockchain that stuck with me. It was really the tech. Um, I think, I'm French. I'm half French, half German, and I think it's very important because my values are truly deeply rooted into those two cultures. And I was raised with values that are like we are all equal.
Mm.
And for me, that's very important. And working in finance for the longest time, I thought, what if we make it, fair and we level the ground field for everybody so that everybody has the same tools. And I really thought this is our chance that we have in a lifetime to actually change society as we know it and make it benefit the public instead of just the few, the many and not the few.
Pretty philosophical and deeply rooted in who you are, from what I can see. What happened next?
So I worked for hedge funds, right? This like come from TradeFi experience for the longest time. And then eventually my first crypto experience was with a crypto hedge fund in New York, and they actually fired me um, because I raised, I had the fund was at capacity, so I was raising capital for them, and it was pretty much a shock for me. I had never been, let go by anybody, and I took it very, very personally. I thought, oh my gosh, am I doing a bad job? Is it bad? Like, what did I do wrong? But actually, it was not me. It's because I did such a good job that they had to let me go. And so I thought to myself, well, you know what? Instead of working for somebody else's dream, let me work for mine. I have the contact. I have made a lot of money for a lot of people that now trust me, and those investors want to, hear about what do I recommend them in terms of how do they get into Web3. So what I did is that I started advising a lot of family offices and funds in the US and Europe, and training their analyst team as well and research team about how do you get into crypto, what do you invest in, what do you look at, what is the DD you have to go through to make sure it is a good investment, and what are the KPIs you have to look at when you analyze a crypto opportunity, investment in opportunity. And so one thing led to another. Fast forward to Pudgy, which was 2022. Peter, who is the chief creative officer at Pudgy and who took over Pudgy along with Luca, um, we had worked on a project in the past together. And so when they started trying to raise capital and find out that it was harder than what they thought. And, it was harder not because they were not good at it, but it was harder because the market was really bad at the time. We had FTX happening. We had the SEC investigating into Yuga Lab. It was really tough. It was an uphill battle. And so Peter reached out to me and he was like, look, I have this amazing company, an amazing project. Join us, please come with us. Just focus on the capital raise and we'll focus on the rest. And so talk to Luca, and really our vision and mission for Pudgy and the space as a whole really aligned perfectly. And that's how I joined. And so I raised the capital for them. I think they needed 2.5, and in 6 months I raised 6 million, and I had to say no to other people through my own network. And again, really uphill battle, but made it happen. And then I was supposed to leave, and I guess we all agreed that I needed to stay, and I wanted to stay as well. So I focused on that, and basically in the first, couple of years, my first 2 years, I generated millions for Pudgy, which is quite rare, not only in our space, but in general. If you look at the stats, only 5% of companies in the world generate that much in revenue in their first 2 years. And especially in our space, pre-token, that was quite a big lift. And yeah, that was my experience. And then recently I was asked and offered to step in as a CEO for World of Women, and that's what I did. So here we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gave me a lot of points to stick to, actually.
Yeah, I know you're not sticking to the questions now, but it's good. It's actually good.
I mean, we're going to return to the core questions as well. I got more curious about the experience with Pudgy and how, it's crazy to hear that you coming from TradFi were able to raise using your connections in TradFi for a project, an NFT project about penguins. Like from this side, it looks like that. Tell me more about that.
I didn't find Pudgy. Pudgy found me, actually, which is funny, and I'm super grateful for that. I loved my experience at Pudgy. I loved the team. I loved what we've built. I'm very proud of what we've built. And to answer your question, actually, no, it was not solely, and it was mostly actually crypto Web3 investors, because I had been in the space since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know everybody in the space. I'm a dinosaur for this space. And it was even more important because we knew all along, before it was the case, that royalties on NFTs were not, sustainable long-term revenue stream. So it was important for me to do that quickly.
I love the excitement you're speaking about it. Like, it feels so genuine.
It is genuine because it is genuine.
Most excited person other than me.
Yeah, it is genuine. And I think it's great because I've had that, that remark by a lot of people, which still surprises me. But the fact that I come across very genuine and people are surprised of that. And I think it comes from the fact that maybe, in our space, there's a lot of, everything is built. Like, we build hype, we build, everybody in our space is very good at building attention. But nobody is really like building actual tangible things, like building a business, building a revenue stream. I think Pudgy has done it best. We've done it best at Pudgy, but But really, I think in the space, it's still very like fluff, and that's what I want to change. I want to change that dynamic. I want to prove that, you know, an NFT project can be so much more than just JPEGs.
The surprising thing about this is that finance is generally regarded as hard, boring in a way kind of thing. And seeing that amount of energy in regards to building revenue, monetization and stuff is probably what's the most surprising, especially in your case.
Actually, you now that you say it that way, I can see that. Yes. Okay. Yes. And I think that's going to be my edge as well. That's definitely my edge, because I put a fun, simple, you know, again, but fun twist to something that people perceive as something very boring and tech. And the same with Web3. That's how I'm going to bridge Web2 and Web3. I'm going to onboard mainstream by making it easy and fun and inspiring and you know, just using that energy and putting it into WoW. But
Now
yeah,
tell me about that.
about WoW.
Yes.
no, no, I'm like, yes. Well, I just fun story about it. I have to tell you the fun background story about it is I decided to leave Pudgy and then take some time off. You know, I wanted to take a year off, and literally 2 weeks into my sabbatical, I have this very prominent figure in the space that everybody knows, that is also happens to be a good friend of mine, and comes to me and is like, "Hey V, I've been talking to WoW, to World of Women, and I've heard that they're looking for a new CEO, and I think you'd be perfect for it. Would you consider it?" And I was like, well, I'm happy to look into it because I love and I see the potential for World of Women. But I'm going to tell you right away, I am not taking this position because, you know, I have plans. I have my sabbatical that is waiting for me. And next thing you know, I'm, you know, sitting down and talking with the team and talking as well with the amazing Tezos Foundation team and looking to the history of WoW. And I was like, okay, well, this is Pudgy all over again, and I can't ignore it. So here we are. And no regrets. I love it. I like those this past month has been very emotional for me because I've seen how much this decision was the right decision to take and how much I'm happy and my whole life led to this moment. So I'm growing WoW from an NFT project to a company with, you know, actual revenue streams that benefits our WoW family, and I have a whole roadmap for it.
To be honest, I missed, I guess, a lot of updates from the WoW project. Like the last time I've heard about it was probably around 2021, 22. And I was really surprised when you said that you stepped in as CEO. I didn't even know they still operate.
Yeah.
Right. And what affected you in such a way that you decided to step in as a CEO? Like, what was the last thing or the most influential thing that pushed you to accept?
I know it's going to sound super cocky, and I'm not a cocky person, but really what pushed me is asking myself, if not me, who's going to do as good of a job as I would for World of Women? And there's nobody else in the space that can do what I do. So that's really the reason. And for me, WoW has always been the only mission-driven project in the space that had huge potential. Because if you look at all the other projects, it's not mission driven. You have Pudgy, which is great, but it's a IP driven.
Mm-hmm.
You have Yuga, which is also great, but it's a combination of an IP and being that selective club and more of a brand play than anything else. You have CryptoPunks, which is one-on-one, so it's more of an art play. But if I ask you, what other project can you think of that is mission driven? And when I say mission driven is really important for me, because I think this is the only project that has its focus is not on itself, but on its family, on its community. For me, long-term achievement and long-term sustainability of a business, of a company, has to be on the community. It has to be on our family, because that's how you provide, tangible value. And for me, WoW was the project that was the closest to my values as a person.
Taking it all into account and the excitement you're talking about it and the vision that I don't really know what you mean at this point, and I would really love a glimpse into what it is, and me and the listener as well would like to know, what is it that you're trying to achieve with World of Women?
You're trying to get me into trouble, huh? Hike? Is that what you're trying to do? No, I'm kidding. Obviously, everybody's curious, and I understand that. There's only so much I can reveal at this point in time. I can't say the exact roadmap. What I can say is that I do have a roadmap, and it's in 3 phases. And I do have a 5 years plan. I do have a 10 years plan. I do have a 15 years plan.
Mm-hmm.
This is already, it's not me coming in and thinking, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with WoW.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that already before being offered and accepting the position. I am going to make World of Women the engine that will help people find their dream, and the fuel that gives them courage to chase it. That's the big sentence. That is the mission. I'm not in it to just make it, like continuing the history. I want this to be an actual company generating profit, being independent, making a mark, leading the movement, being the face of Web3. So this is what I'm in this role to do. Nothing less.
Mm-hmm. Who is it that you want to connect in order to bring the vision to life?
Well, that's interesting. There are several people. I mean, personally, again, I'm a people person. I love people. I want to connect with everybody. But first of all, I want to connect with World of Women family. I want to connect with my family. I want to hear from them. I want to understand what they need, how do they feel, what can I do to make things better. Number 2 is I would love to connect with other people that are building something significant and with purpose and mission driven in the space. I want to connect with other leaders that, have contrarian thoughts, opinions, ideas, because I love a good debate.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that's the only way we can build.
That's very clear and precise. Thank you for that. And we're at our last question, which is trying to sum up your whole experience into one insight.
You're killing me, Hike. How could you do that?
I didn't mean to.
No. So summarizing my whole experience in Web3 with one insight, having been in this space for 13 years. Never stop believing and always push for what you believe in. Never let anybody else tell you that you're wrong. Because trust me, I was there in 2012, I was there in 2014, I was there in 2015, in 2016. And I've stopped counting how many people told me that I was crazy for believing in this thing that was called blockchain and crypto. That's absolutely insane. How can I believe in that? What is even that? Like, why would we need a digital currency?
Mhm.
If I had believed them, then I wouldn't be in this space and I would have done what I've done. So this is what I'm going to say is like, never stop believing in yourself. If you believe in something, just go for it. But you have to be 100%. You have to live it, dream it, eat it, sleep it. Just, it has to be in your whole soul. So that's what I would advise.
Thank you. I believe that's something that many needed to hear.
Yeah. And if, the other thing I would say is, if you are one of those people that ask themselves questions and really don't know where is your place right now in the space and what you can add to the space, and you're looking for a family. And I don't use community term because I think community is just like a group of people you associate with. That's why I use the word and the term family, because a family, you're born with it and you die with it.
Mhm.
Through the good, the bad, and the ugly, they are by your side. And that's really how I see this space. And this is how I see World of Women. And this is what I'm building with World of Women. It is a family. So if you're looking for a family, like people that are all going to be by your side, come what may, whatever your dream is, join us. It's going to be a fun ride.
Okay. We will. Oh, thank you, Vi. Thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you
Hype.
for joining me today. This was very exciting, very insightful, and really authentic, which I love.
Thank you, Hike. No, that was a great conversation. Loved it. I hope we can do that again. I hope, out of everything that I've said, if I have managed to touch one life, then
Mhm.
I've accomplished my mission here. So I'm happy.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to us today. Drop any comments and questions for V below, and I'll leave links to find her in the description. I'll see you in the next episode.
See you.